What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. So I'm going to talk about the safety razor versus the straight blade and really what's better. Okay, so when I first got into um, like really kind of the whole like manscaping type thing, I really wanted to get into different types of shaving and stuff like that. So before I got into straight razor, which I always wanted to get into the straight blade razor, I got into this first. Took me a little while to learn how to use this because it does take some skill to actually use. I used it for a while. I was really satisfied with the results. I got about the closest shave I ever had in my life. And that includes this. I had it prior to using the safety blade. I had a straight razor about 6 years ago. I had a straight shave and it wasn't as close as I wanted it to be. But I decided I still want to get into it. So as everybody knows, if you've been following my channel, I got one of these puppies and I've been training in the art of the straight blade shave. So one thing that kind of caught me off guard is the amount of work this is. Don't expect to wake up in the morning and do a quick shave and run off for work. This, with prep, is about 30 to 40 minutes. You do your pre-shave, which is usually your soap, put on your hot towel, let that sit for a bit, take off your hot towel, or even after a hot shower, as long as you loosen up the hairs. You start going with this, you do the pull up and then the shave down, so on and so forth. But every time I've shaved my face with one of these puppies, even when the barbers have done it and they've been doing it for, the one barber I've been going to has been doing it for over 40 years, even when he does it, the shave is really close and it feels great. But the best part of the shave is the pre-shave and the hot towel. This doesn't feel as smooth or doesn't get as close as this does. Now the reason why I think so is because of the fact that this, you guys can see that there, is one single razor blade. And you simply just go on an angle and you just shave down. You really need only one pass over with this. I very extremely rarely ever need two passes with that. Now with this, you need more than one pass. I've never, in the history of, my history with the straight blade razor, have I ever seen anybody do just a single pass and get it completely baby bottom, smooth as you can absolutely get. Usually it's kind of, you kind of go, and then you need to go over it. Usually you're going over it at least 2 to 3 times. With the safety razor, I've never had to do that. I've never went over it. Like I said, very extremely rarely have I ever gone over it even a second time. This is from a few days ago actually, and it's still super close. Usually if I do a straight blade, this is usually pretty close to the day of. And my beard starts growing back to pretty much about this within 2 or 3 days. This is about 2 or 3 days after a safety razor. So I personally like safety razors better. I like the craft and the whole kind of art of the straight blade better because that's a whole thing with it. You have to do like the prep and then there's a little bit of shaping. You can, however, I do feel that you could shape the beard better with one of these things. If you want to do kind of stuff like how I have here right now, I kind of like this for shaping it better. You could kind of do a little bit better of designs with this. You could kind of play with it more. You could kind of, for styling and shaping, this is definitely better. But for the average person who just shaves their face like baby style, or, you know, shaves their face from beard to baby face, these are way better. Even though you're buying, with a straight razor, you're not buying anything. Straight blade razors could really last you hundreds of years. I've seen people who are shaving with their great grandfather's straight blade razor still, you know, to this very day. These, unfortunately, you do have to buy, you know, packs of these and stuff. So there's a little bit of money. These last a long time though. With mine, I can get about a 30 plus day use out of these. And that's really shaving, you know, that's at least shaving, you know, 3 to 4 days a week, really. You know, at least 3 days a week with that thing. And that's a month out of that. You know what I mean? And that's, you don't need to do anything with the blade or anything like that. You just change it out. With these, again, there's a lot more work where you have to strop these after every shave or before every shave. You gotta sharpen them all, like, you know, once in a while. You gotta sharpen them. You gotta do your maintenance with them. You gotta, you know, these are a lot of work to do. Like I said, you know, with the whole pre-shave and everything like that and actually shaving. And then you have your maintenance on top of that. So these are a lot of work. If you're using these, you got to put in the time, you got to put in the care, you got to put in the work. So these are definitely a lot more work than these are. This one I've definitely had this thing for a little while, and it's zero maintenance. It's just flick out that old razor, put a new one in. There you go. It's definitely easier to maintain, and you still get that classicness out of it, because a lot of the older guys, a lot of old school guys, you know, shave with that safety razor. It's an old school thing, right? I mean, so you still got to get that old school classic vibe from it and stuff like that. But between the two, at this point, at this time, I'm gonna have to go with the safety razor being better than the straight blade razor, really for all the reasons that I just said. You get the closer shave, it's quicker, it's easier to maintain, it's quicker to learn as well. Like I said, it does take technique and it does take skill to really use one of these, but it doesn't take as a lot of time as this does take to learn. You know what I mean? Like, it takes years really to actually learn the craft really properly, especially if you want to get into it professionally. You know, just the shave itself is a lot quicker, easier to maintain, you know what I mean? Closer shave, straight blade, not as good as a safety razor. That's the bid. Like, comment, subscribe. Check you in the next video.